when on the bowler plant. Memories for him because I think everyone enjoyed building these great little trailers that we all love so much. Pierre's here. Depending on which one of the Bélangers you ask, I think at least they had something involving or around their honeymoon in a bowler. I don't know. She's saying no. She says it wasn't me, so I don't know. His first wife. He was a bowler being produced in Earlton. If you know anything about them, in 1968 they started in Winnipeg, designed by a fellow called Ray Olico, and I'm not going to bore you with all the details. This was one of the first, I guess, call it a franchises. They built them in...
Not in British Columbia that I know of, no.
Just in Alberta, and Ontario, and Manitoba. So they're produced all over the place, and we have them here, and we really enjoy them. The great thing about this, we're all here in a field, and most of us done over the internet, and that's kind of nifty. You never know, we might be starting something like the Wally Byman Caravanners. And, well, I like the name Bowler Rollers, that's a good one. But we just see what happens from here. I want to introduce Pierre and Larry, and also Blake. You're the one who was on the supervisors and the work crew, is that right? Yeah. Anything to say about the bowlers? Are you glad to see these little eggs here? Are you glad to see the little eggs here?
Yes.
We've heard them called a whole bunch of things. One person calls them eggs, we do, and some people call them pumpkins. I've had mine called a hamburger, you know, with the old styrofoam that are now politically incorrect. They look like that. What did you guys used to call them in the plant?
Well, we call them lots of things.
Oh. Larry, do you have anything to say?
No, not at this one. What about the brings back a lot of memories?
Oh, okay. There's also an accountant here, Roger.
No, Real.
Real.
Yes.
Any remarks about this wonderful time we're having here?
Well, I think it's pretty nifty because it brings back memories for me too.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot to do with people buying them, and I remember that dealer from Lambeth.
Okay.
Coming up, and in fact I wrote an article not too long ago.
Yeah.
Circulated in a magazine called Old Autos.
Yeah.
And it talked about that, and I remember that gentleman, him and his wife, both driving up. Each with their own car to get 2 bowlers at a time.
Well, then I bought this one in Aylmer, which is only about a couple of Aylmer, Ontario, which is only around 20 or 30 kilometers east of Lambeth. So this didn't go too far from where it was sold. Okay, so it's good to see them, eh?
Yeah.
Larry, Pierre. Pierre's been...
My father says he has nothing to say,
yeah,
but he wants to pull a few strings and have me say them.
Okay.
He wants to say how thankful he is that he had a son that could help him out with this. And he added that he really is. We're going to try and photocopy the story he wrote for the Auto magazine.
Wonderful.
It's actually a very good little historical breakdown on the bowler.
Good.
I just want to say we were slow to realize how much fun and how much spirit your gathering would have. We're busy with our season at the trailer dealership, and tonight's just a small token of our, in a way, an appreciation that you appreciate what we built and worked on for 10 years. And
we don't appreciate, we love them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we did too, but it was sort of a secret passion.
Yeah.
It's out in the open now.
It is, yeah.
So we want to thank the folks who came up, and it's we know there's more to this than just liking an object. There's a nice spirit of friendship, and there's we knew coming up today we wanted to bring up the barbecue and get the stuff going, but we knew the fun of it would be meeting some nice people, because collectors or people with passions are always nice to meet. They're always out of the ordinary. We knew this wouldn't be an ordinary crowd. And somehow you've got musics. I don't know how you attracted the musicians. I know the folks at the Steam and Antique Show can't wait to meet you, and I'm told you're going to move over there in a day or so.
2 o'clock, we're going tomorrow afternoon.
And you're going to meet some fine people there. You're going to have a dandy weekend.
We're going to roll down there, yeah.
So,
Francois, what do the Indians call Pierre?
Oh.
Odun Musan.
Oh,
Eh?
Odun
Yeah.
Musan.
This might be a misplaced anecdote. We had a little fight here last year in Temiskaming, which concerned garbage coming up from Toronto. I hope there's no one here from Toronto. But one of our the groups that helped us a lot were the Algonquin Indians from Notre-Dame-du-Nord. And we became very good friends, and we worked with them. At one of their council meetings, they told me they had given me a ceremonial name. I thought, boy, that's because of my role in this. I was very proud of this, and I said, what's the name? So they got together and they gave me this big scroll, and it was Odum Musan. I said, that's great. What does it mean? I thought it might mean something like virile moose or soaring eagle, or I don't know. But they said, well, it's lips that walk. So that's my Algonquin name. You can imagine they're very quiet and they don't speak much, and they must have wondered, when will this guy shut up? So anyway, we're just very happy to have you. My father may warm up by hearing me say all these things. He's a pretty good speech maker himself. But we really had a very, very good crew of people building our trailers back then. It was a community effort. It meant to Earlton, it was the first, this was one of these towns that was going to disappear. There was no development activity, no jobs. Youth were leaving town, and a group of local farmers and small businessmen got together and formed a development company, which my father spearheaded. And those 20 small investors, we're talking small, I think it was $20 a month. That was a share, $20 a month, and they pledged more, and they did this over years, and that's how they got the factory started. Most of what you see in the village of Earlton was built by that development company. And so it was quite a dream. It created employment. It spawned many of the businesses you see in Earlton. People who built our frames became Norark, the big steel fabricator you see there. Many of the business people in this area got their start at the Earlton manufacturing at the factory. So it meant a lot to us, and when it had to close in '82, in that period of high interest rates, it was it was a very emotional time. It was more than just losing money. It was we lost a little bit of our dream, but the town, as you may see if you go back into Earlton and you stay here, is very thriving, prosperous, dynamic, and it's kept that spirit. So we're happy to have you here, I'll tell you. And I hope you eat buffalo meat for the rest of your lives. Because
they're wonderful. One of your passions and hobbies now is raising buffaloes too.
Yeah, we're trying to bring guilt-free eating to people. Yeah. You can eat all the meat you want, but no cholesterol, low fat, high protein.